Hey guys, I'm Dupree, and today I'm showing you how to make these long table banks going off the short rail. Most of the time, you'll be able to make them most of the time if you just carry out this rule right, if you carry out this rule correctly. You will be faced with a bank sometime in your pool career. If you're like this, let's say you're playing 8-ball, you're shooting solids, and you're on the 6, and that's 11 is blocking the pocket for you there. You don't really want to have to do a hard back cut like that. That's a pretty difficult shot. It's not too hard, but you don't want to have to shoot that. Also, what if this pocket is blocked, even if it's by one of your own solids? It's still a tough shot. You'd have to play like that, carry them into your 3 there. But that's still, they're tough options. Even though we made them both, I feel like the bank would be more high percentage in this case. So, a lot of the same physics goes into these long table, these long banks as I do in my last video with the short banks. If you hit the ball soft, the angle widens. You see how instead of hitting like right here as it should, we're not focused on making the ball right now, so don't really look at that. So if we hit it hard, see how the angle goes to here. So it goes exactly to here. I stopped the cue ball where my object ball was, so I can put it back now. Now watch what happens when I hit it soft. Look how wide the angle goes now. It hits here instead of here. So always keep that in mind. When you're shooting slower, the angle is going wider. Also keep in mind what spin is on the object ball you're shooting. Whatever spin is on the cue ball, the opposite spin is transferred to the object ball. So this is center ball at a pretty hard speed. And let's put that back. So that hit about here. Now we hit with right spin on our cue ball. That'll put left spin on the object ball. Whatever spin is on the cue ball, the opposite spin is on the object ball. So right spin on the cue ball puts left on the object ball, which will spin the ball towards this rail more. So just keep that in mind. Right spin. See how it goes towards that rail more because of that left spin on the object ball. Now it's going to have the opposite effect when we have left spin on the cue ball, which puts right spin on the object ball. It's going to make the angle shorter. So all these, you need to take account of these when you are banking. Same works if you're way up here, if you're banking from here, if you're using that right spin, it's going to spin it more to the left. So you're going to miss that pocket long. And if you were to hit it again with left spin on the cue ball, which puts right on the object ball, you'd be good, since it brings it back towards this direction. So just everything varies. There's a lot of things you need to take into consideration. Sometimes using spin is helpful for position play. If you need to hold your cue ball somewhere, and you can use that position. So like, let's not try to make it. We're not really focused on making anything right now. But if we need to hold our cue ball here, and we were kind of short on this object ball, we're just going to try to get somewhere near that pocket. If we wanted to hold our cue ball here, we can use that right spin to kind of spin the ball that way. So if we needed to hold our cue ball for that 3, we would be perfectly fine with that right spin. If we would have just hit that with center, we would have... no, I think we would have been fine. I probably gave myself a different angle than I did in the last segment. But if you needed to hold your cue ball, not have to cut it like that, if you didn't want to do that, then you can just use that right spin on the cue ball, puts that left spin on the object ball, and that would look like that. It brings it back towards the left, and ultimately towards that pocket. So things you need to take into consideration: speed, spin, and that's pretty much it. Your speed and your spin. Probably the angle on the ball, obviously, because how you're cutting the ball. So now we can move to more options. Okay, so now let's get into cross banks. Now what a cross bank is, it's usually when you cut across the face of a ball. So we're going to cut this 11 ball off this rail all the way down here because we can't make it into this pocket and there's really no other open pocket. So what a lot of people do is they just get down with center and try to make it with center. But they don't know that the ball is going to hit twice. That's called a double kiss. And you'll usually hear players trying to avoid the double kiss or avoid the kiss. You do not want a double kiss on pretty much any shot. Now a lot of players would try to play with bottom left. And they know, and try to draw the cue ball back around it. They don't know that it would still have a high chance of double kiss since the cue ball and the object ball are going in the same general direction. So what we really need to do is hit with top right across the face of the 11, or whatever our aiming point may be. We're not trying to make anything right now. But top right will send our cue ball into this rail and underneath the 11. The 11 will be playing off of this rail and back up, and our cue ball will be hitting this rail by the time the 11 is back up, and that right spin will bring it down. So that would look like this. Like that. If we hit that harder, it would have kept going and went in, but as I said, we're not trying to make anything right now. Just showing you the technique for it. So top right, that should be outside English on the rail, whatever rail you're hitting. Right here, it's running English on the rail. So if it's naturally going to go to the right when you hit it straight, then the right spins, you're running English, and it'll just lengthen the angle and speed your cue ball up. This can also be used for great position shots if you need position on anything. The only problem is when this ball is further away, it's better to use that back right spin, or maybe just the back left spin, draw off the rail and back out, because the ball this time is further away from the rail, so top right has a chance of running it into it again. So just take that into consideration, how far your ball is away from the rail. And now I can show you this crossback. Okay, so the last thing we're going to go over is double bank shots across the whole table. So this usually occurs by accident. When a player is trying to bank a ball into that pocket and they miss short, the ball heads back over to that general area of the table. Now what a lot of people don't know about double bank shots is when the ball hits off the second rail. So after it goes and hits that rail, it's going to go same angle into the rail, same angle out of the rail, same angle of incidence equals same angle of reflection. But the angle out of the second rail is about half of the original angle out of the first rail. So if it goes in at a 25-degree angle, it's going to come out at a 25-degree angle. But then it's going to come back out at a 17.5 degree angle. Somewhere around 17.5. I don't know if it's exact, but it's about half of that second angle. So it's not going to be as wide. If you're shooting across the table like this, the ball is going to curve. Not if you shoot across the table like that. But the ball will curve after it hits the second rail. I don't know if you can see it. It will curve forward. I don't know if you can see it spin forward, but it did. So just take my word for it if you couldn't see it. But it's not really going to curve on these shots, like across the whole entire table. We really just need to aim for the 3 ball to hit about here, since that second angle is going to be really shallow. We're not that far. We're just going to go same angle in, same angle out, till our cue points to about here. Which it doesn't, so that's fine. So we can just reset. Same angle in, same angle out. And we should be good if we hit about where my Q-tip is. So it's a very simple rule, and it'll be very helpful if one of your pockets are blocked. But this shot is usually played on accident, and here it is. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, click the like button down below. If you want to be notified when I post it again, click the subscribe button and then the bell icon right next to it. That'll just send you an email and a notification saying that I've uploaded a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.